My name's Grant, you're watching 3D Musketeers, and we got a Grant rant all about open source coming your way after this intro. More LulzBot news about why everything about their latest acquisition sucks. This is not okay, LulzBot. You have stolen something that's open source. Let's talk about it. So, let's first understand open source. Okay, open source means you can do whatever you want with it, right? It's out on the internet, you can download it, you can sell it, we don't care, as long as you properly attribute. The minute you don't attribute, you go from being completely okay to being in a Grant rant. Don't be in a Grant rant. Let's go through this. Do things the right way. And LulzBot, I'm calling you out. Shame on you. You stole something from Printed Solid. And this is the CEO, Dave Randolph, on Facebook saying this is not okay. And you know what? He's absolutely right. This is not okay. Not okay. Open source means that you can take it and use it for whatever you want. Modify it, change it, sell it, doesn't matter. But you must attribute the original creator, right? So people know where it came from. This is what it's about. Not only did LulzBot directly copy what Dave and Printed Solid did, they cut them out and did not attribute the designs. So let's go through this. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm a huge supporter of open source hardware and software, and that I have been for over 20 years now. And these are Dave Randolph's words, not mine. If you don't know what open source means, let me make it very simple. If you design something and make it open source, that means you make available the original design files and instructions. People can make their own files without fear of getting sued. Companies can make their own without getting sued. A company can even take an open source design, make improvements or changes, or use the parts to design without getting sued. It makes this free for everybody and helps move innovation at a lightning pace. But there are two catches. You must credit the original creators. If you make changes to a design, you must also make those changes open source. There is a bunch of legal jargon and multiple versions of open source, but that is the short version of what open source is. I found out a company had taken my designs and started making and selling it after I developed it and was manufacturing it for them. So yes, Printed Solid used to make these, developed them and made them for LulzBot, and sold them on behalf of LulzBot. LulzBot had them on their website as well. It sucks, but it's open source, he says. Normally this would be fine, however, they didn't make any changes or improvements to design. They just copied it and started selling it, which, again, is perfectly fine. However, they decided to remove attribution from the design. This is one of the two basic rules of open source. And he sent them a kind email asking them to correct this problem. Then yesterday, they decided to double down on claim on Twitter that they made improvements so that is no longer my original designs and a new one. Then as part of the design files, they removed all attribution to me and my company on everything but a few brackets. Why they left those with attribution just to me and not company and remove it elsewhere, I'll never know. But here are two photos for you to look at and tell me where the changes were made to my designs. On the left column is my original instruction manual I sent out with the kits, which included an itemized list of everything included in the kit and a picture of everything in the kit. It includes all of my graphics, diagrams, photos, and text. In the right column, you will find their new improved instructions. Please note that the text is not only the same, but the font and paragraph layout is exactly the same. This is because they don't have the original text as actual text, so they copy and pasted the text as an image, which also shows up when you look at their PDF source files. Their new and improved source files also still have the same metadata for my files and the same file names and even creation dates. 20 years in the open source hardware and software and 3D printing industry. Oh, sorry. 20 years in open source hardware, software, and 3D printing is the industry that ruins it for me, which is ironic considering that there would be no consumer 3D printing today if it wasn't for patents expiring and open source development. This man. This freaking man. First off, good on you, Dave. Call out the bullshit and make them pay. You need, as a community, you, the maker, need to hold companies accountable. Just like we did for Cricket, we're doing it again for LulzBot because this is not okay. You can't steal in this industry. You will not get away with this, LulzBot. I will not let you get away with this. I have been a customer of yours for years. Never again will you get a dime of my money. This is bullshit. You stole, you got caught, you tried to hide it, and you got caught again. Dave and his company Printed Solid worked for hours upon hours to make amazing enclosures for LulzBot machines and then allowed LulzBot to sell them. I'm sure they had an agreement where Dave got a certain amount of money and LulzBot kept the rest. They had map pricing so that every price was the same everywhere you went. But LulzBot was allowed to sell it on their website. And now they're gonna cut out the company that allowed them to do this? And even further, not attribute it the way that you need to do it? No! Not okay! LulzBot, I'm calling you out. Grant at 3D Musketeers is calling you out. Get it together. But seriously, like, it's literally all the same stuff. And we're gonna post the Facebook link in the description so you guys can see it. But I mean, seriously, I mean, it's identical, man. Freaking identical. What the hell? It's literally the same. It's literally shame on you, LulzBot. Shame on you.
A few moments later.
A quick little update. Looks like LulzBot got caught with their pants down and is trying to lie about it. We got some problems here, guys. We realized over the weekend the insight in fully attributing multiple parties in open source license that we shared. Like, you got caught with your pants down and now you're pretending like they were never down in the first place. No. If you were gonna do this the right way, you would have done it the right way the first time. Quit lying. You got caught. Fess up. Oh, we didn't realize. You completely realized it, guys. You completely realized it. Like, seriously, it's not that difficult. You need to add it everywhere. You stole somebody else's stuff. You try to get away with it. He reached out to you personally. You ignored him. He called you out on Facebook. You still did nothing. And it took more of us getting your attention to finally get your stuff fixed. No. LulzBot, you're canceled. This is garbage. Honestly, good job. Because you all were on track to potentially have some pretty good press coming out with a $750 3D printer. But, no. You know what? I don't want it. We were gonna buy one. But you know what? I'm gonna spend my money. I'm gonna get another Prusa. Because I can at least rely on those printers. And I can rely on Prusa research to not do dumb bullshit like this. So yeah, I'm calling you out, LulzBot. Open source helped you build your company for 10 years. You recently sold, and honestly, it's a little fishy. But now you're gonna play this, oh, we didn't know retraction game? Don't give me that malarkey. Like, look at this. I called you out. Joel is just trying to let it go. But I think Jatin says it right. I think this is what is referred to as a cluster F, or more generally, a PR nightmare. Good job, LulzBot. You screwed the pooch. And honestly, I'm not all that surprised. Not all that surprised. Get your act together. You want good PR? Give Grant a call. I know what to do. It's called not lie to people. You think in a digital world that you wouldn't get caught? Come on now. If you guys like these type of videos, these Grant Rant videos, because I like making them, as long as we have kind of drama in this industry, click that subscribe button, ring the bell, and leave us a like. In the comments below, let us know your thoughts about this. Is LulzBot okay in your mind? Do they deserve to be put on the naughty list? Are they getting a lump of coal for Christmas, or are they getting a brand new 3D printer? Let us know in the comments below, because we want to have a conversation, good or bad. My name's Grant. This is 3D Musketeers, a Grant Rant, as you do. Don't forget to call your loved ones. Stay safe out there, and keep making awesome. Have a good one. Holy shit, I forgot to record desktop.